Welcome to Smack This, the unofficial Godsmack podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things Godsmack. This is episode 26, the Apocalypse Blues Revue band slash CD. Uh, this week in Godsmack news, the band posted on social media thanking fans for making the song Surrender number one for 5 weeks in a row. That is absolutely incredible on mainstream rock radio. Again, that's just absolutely fantastic. That is such a great song. Uh, and the band announced yesterday, meaning Wednesday, that they have a show scheduled for next year. They are actually going to be part of the Rockville Festival in Daytona, Florida on Saturday, May the 20th. It's a 4-day festival. Some of the bands that I jotted down for you. Thursday nights when this festival kicks off, it's going to be Slipknot, Rob Zombie, Queen of the Stone Age, and then on Friday it's Avenged Sevenfold, Evanescence. Then on Saturday it's Pantera, of course Godsmack, and I found this very interesting, Alice Cooper. Sunday, Tool, Deftones, and Incubus are going to be much of the big headliners on those shows. Plus, there's a ton of bands on each of these shows, so if you live in or around Daytona, go check that out. Me personally, I would definitely want to check out the Thursday and Saturday show. Alice Cooper, Godsmack, Pantera. I mean, my goodness. Thursday, Slipknot and Rob Zombie. I mean, talking about Pyro. That would be a great show. So that's it this week in Godsmack News. This is episode 26, the Apocalypse Blues Revue. Easy for me to say. Band and slash CD. It's a self-titled CD. A little bit about this band. It's a side project band by Tony and Shannon, along with Brian Carpenter on bass and Ray Serbone on vocals. A little bit of the timeline on this album. They went into the studio and recorded their debut album. It was mixed by Dave Fortman, and we all know who Dave is by now. Guitar player for Ugly Kid Joe, former bandmate of Shannon. Shannon was in Ugly Kid Joe. He co-produced Godsmack's The Oracle and 1,000 Horsepower. The actual album was produced by the band. It was released on August the 26th, 2016 under Pro Vogue Records. How many copies did this album sell? I have no idea. I can't really find anything. It took a little bit of really searching just to get this little bit of the history and timeline about this band. There's not a whole lot written about them. So let's go track by track. Um, Song number 1 is called Evil Is As Evil Does. This song kicks right in with some great guitar playing by Tony. Ray starts singing. It's got a great blues groove in it. It's a great song. It has a great guitar solo by Tony. Great song to start the album. Really catchy chorus, I found. Yeah, great song. Song number 2 is called Junkie Hell. It starts with this really upbeat drumming by Shannon. Sounds really good. You're like, yeah, okay, this is going somewhere really good. Then it just kind of slows down almost to a stop. And then Tony starts playing, and then Ray starts singing. It's almost kind of a Jim Morrison kind of sound singing wise. Really cool. I like the Doors a lot. Um, Great guitar solo by Tony in the middle of the song. Sorry, there's my notes. Um, it's a good song. I will say that. The only thing for me is it's a little too long. It's almost like 7 minutes long, and That's kind of long. That's a long song. Um, so we get to track number 3. It's called Devil Plays a Strat. Just kicks right in. This one actually has a video for it. If you type in The Devil Plays a Strat, you'll see the music video for this. Um, Kicks right in, then it kind of slows down. Great drumming by Shannon, great guitar playing by Tony, great singing. It's a great song. Is it one of my favorites? Not really, but it's a great song after the last one. Track number 4 is I Think Not. This one starts off with some kind of strumming of the guitar, then the band kicks in, then the singing starts. This is a good song, great guitar solo again by Tony. The lyrics are really good. Um, yeah, it's a good song, not bad. Track number 5 is called Whiskey in My Coffee. Starts off with Shannon playing on the snare drum, then the band kicks in. I really like this one. It's very upbeat, great playing by the whole band and the singing by Ray. It almost has this, for me, it sounded a little bit Aerosmith's kind of earlier albums. A little bit of Rolling Stones if you go to their earlier material. That's the way it sounds to me. It's a really good song. I really like it a lot. It's so good. Check that song out, Whiskey in My Coffee. Um, then we get to song number 6 called The Tower. This one starts off with Tony playing this great guitar playing in it. Then the band and Ray joins in. It's a good song. The vocals has this really cool echo kind of effect to it. It's really kind of interesting. Uh, and that's it on that song that I took notes of. Song number 7 is Crossed Over. It starts with this great groove in it, and then the singing's great. It makes you kind of swing or tap your feet or nod your head. It's got a really great groove in it. Tony really shreds on this song. It's actually his playing kind of picks up on this song. Again, Crossed Over. That's really good. Song number 8 is Blues Falling from the Sky. Starts right in. It has a great groove in it. Really good upbeat tempo. Then in the middle, it kind of drops. Again, kind of like one of those other songs that I talked about. Sounds really good. And then it just kind of does this nosedive out of nowhere. And it has this the classic blues sound when I think of like B.B. King or people like that. It never comes back up, meaning that it stays down. And that's how it kind of finishes. Um, so it kind of, for me, it sounds really good until we get to that bottom part, and then that bottom part just kind of nosedives. Um, Not really sure what they were thinking on that one, but you may like it. I don't know. Track number 9 is called Work in Progress. Starts off with this great drum beat by Shannon. The band comes in, great upbeat tempo. Shannon really shines on this album, or I should say this song. You can hear a lot of the drum fills, the way he's playing. Great song. I really like this one. Great solo by Tony. There's some breaks in the middle where it's almost kind of like a drum solo, guitar solo, but with the drum by Shannon. And then Brian on bass has his little turn in it. Then it comes back to the song. It's really good. It's so good. Work in Progress. I really like that one a lot. Track number 10 is called The Devil in Me. It starts off with this great groove. Sounds a lot like Black Sabbath, and I know a lot of people who listen to Black Sabbath or even talked about Black Sabbath say they're pretty much a blues band. and I can hear it on certain songs. I'm not a huge Black Sabbath fan, but some of the songs that I've heard, I do hear that kind of blues kind of sound, and that's what this song sounds like, especially on guitar. Tony is a big Black Sabbath fan, so this kind of makes sense. Then it kind of drops down. Ray starts singing. It's a really good song. It's almost kind of a scary blues kind of song. Very cool. Track number 11 is called Blue Cross. Starts off with this great guitar strumming and Ray singing along, soft sounding, and then the song slowly builds up. The band comes in. It's very Doors, the Doors sounding on this one. I love it. I thought it was so good. Um, and then they also put a bonus track on this album called When the Music's Over. So, speaking of the Doors, it's a Doors song. So, they cover the Doors. Um, it comes off the Doors' second album, Strange Days. Great album. Love that album. Um, this is a very cool version of this song. They changed it a little bit, but not. They didn't stray too far off. Like you can hear some extra drumming by Shannon. Excuse me. And then instead of the keyboard by Ray Manzarek, he would play the keyboard and the bass keyboard uh, at the same time. Tony actually fills that in with the guitar part. Sounds really cool. Ray does a great job singing, but I mean, let's face it, there was only one Jim Morrison. Uh, but it's good. It's yeah, it's good. Uh, I think they did the song justice. I loved it. I actually did love this cover song. So that's it on this album. I'm going to rate it 1 out of 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'm actually going to give it a 9. I don't really listen to, when I think of blues, I think of B.B. King and stuff, people like that. A lot of people think of the Doors as a blues band, and I do listen to them a lot. So I actually found myself liking this album a lot, more than I thought I would. So, least favorite song, I'll go for that first. I'm actually going to say Junkie Hell. Again, it was way too long for me. You may like it, but it's not my favorite on this album. Favorite song or songs, I actually have quite a few. Again, like it said, it really surprised me. Uh, Evil Is as Evil Does. I like Whiskey in My Coffee, Crossed Over, Work in Progress, The Devil in Me, Blue Cross, and of course the bonus track, the Doors cover song, When the Music's Over. Homework this week. Do you have this album? What's your favorite song or songs? What's your least favorite songs or songs? And then rate it 1 out of 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. You let me know. Write me a comment down below. And that's it for this week. Next week is episode 27. Can you believe that? 27 episodes. And we're going to stay with the side project band, the Apocalypse Blues Revue. We're going to talk about the second album, and it was called The Shape of Blues to Come, and I'll go track by track. If you know anybody out there that's a Godsmack fan, likes to talk about Godsmack, hear about Godsmack, send them this way. Send them the link. Tell them go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, wherever else there is out there. Tell them type in Smack This, the Unofficial, and all the podcast episodes will pop up. And that's it for this week. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate everybody who viewed last week's episode. And that's it. And you just got Godsmack.